and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah. Oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah. Oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah. Oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Oh my. It's a wonderful day indeed, is it not? Ah, yes. The salt flows. The salt flows on both sides of the aisle at this time. Looks like Alex Jones is very upset because the Onion has bought out InfoWars. Of course, he would have you believe that, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. That's not how it works, Alex. Sorry. Sucks, but that's not how it works. Good morning, Story. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Magic Angel. Chris Zagata. I love that. That's a beautiful name. How you doing this morning? Sir Frank Otter, Nancy, Natalie Baker. Good morning. Good morning. You need a bowl of coffee. Bowl and coffee. I was like, a bowl of coffee. Man, that's a lot of coffee. There are updates on that sale, but you also have to remember where that information came from. Information came from Alex. Alex is going to have a lot to say. Does it necessarily mean that it didn't happen? Very interesting. We'll see. I understand that there's a lot of people that are not sure because, well, that's how news and information gets spread around. Nobody loves you, Captain Kern. Everybody loves you, Captain Kern. Don't you listen to them. We love you over here. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. I've been looking at some new music to put in for my what do you call it? Coffee break. Grabbing that, which would be I still haven't got the song completely right. It's working. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. I think the first one is okay. I think it goes a little bit long, and I wanted to update it just a little bit more. just make it just a little better. There is, is that deepness of future wife recording this bit? Oh, it's going to be bad. I can't show that. All right. So, this morning's news. Nice haircut. Well, thank you. Thank you. I haven't had it cut. I just like to keep it nice and clean. Yeah, what can I say? Crafts with Nightingale. Good morning. Good morning. It is interesting. It is interesting that we have. Well, let's see. We'll start with the first one that I've got here this morning. Oh. As public health sheriff terrorizes legacy media, big pharma. The way we know this is a coordinated corporate media propaganda campaign is one, A, how quickly the hit pieces emerge following an announcement, suggesting they were pre-written, and B, the through lines between them, suggesting talking points handed down from on high. So keep that in mind, how fast these stories hit and the campaigns behind them. I mean, how fast were protesters outrunning, burning, and destroying things? They're very coordinated. These kinds of things are pre-planned. The talking points, the stories, the things that you see coming out, those are all pre-planned. Virtually without fail, they began the typical anti-vax conspiracy theorists smeared all over the place before moving on to quote some NGO. They prefer quoting NGOs because they lend a veneer of legitimacy and neutrality as opposed to the clearly interested parties that sponsor said NGOs, the industry actors themselves, plus a quote from some obscure professor, also probably indirectly on the industry payroll via grants. And we've seen those. Yeah. He is totally going to wreck the industry, and I love it. Yeah, and we've shown this before on the AP exactly what they have to say about all of this. I mean, if you need to say any more, here's think about this. How many users are on X? Let me find out how many users. How many users on X? There we go. Oh, look, it pre-typed it for me like they knew. Last year, it had roughly 250 million daily active users. And Musk predicted or claimed that it would grow to 1 billion in 2024. On election day last week, X had only 160 million daily users, and even that was a yearly high, according to Sensor Tower, a market intelligence firm that tracks the platform. Okay. So whenever you see things like this come out, Blue Sky has added 1 million users since the U.S. elections. People seek alternatives to X. We've seen this before, haven't we? We've seen this both on the left and the right. What was it that everybody was jumping a platform and they were going over to Parler? What wasn't it? Parler was one year, and then people left Parler, started following over on Truth Social. And Truth Social still has its issues, but it's not as big as a lot of people think. The reason people start going over to Truth Social is most likely because they got sick of the same propaganda that was being promoted by X, and how people were being shadow banned if they were talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. People going over to Rumble. I mean, Rumble still has its users. It still has quite a few people that go over there and watch it, but you can tell how fast that this Blue Sky shows up with building a social internet. And of course, Los Angeles Social media site Blue Sky has gained 1 million new users in the week since the U.S. election. Some ex-users look for an alternative platform to post their thoughts and engage with others online. Blue Sky said Wednesday its total users surged to 15 million. Ooh, 15 million. Yeah, Blue Sky will be a failure. Championed by former CEO Jack Dorsey, Blue Sky was an invitation-only space until it opened to the public in February. The invite-only period gave the site time to build out moderation tools and other features. The platform resembles X, with a discover feed as well as chronological feed for accounts that users follow. Users can send direct messages and pin posts as well as find starter packs that provide a curated list of people and custom feeds to follow. The post-election uptick in users isn't the first time that Blue Sky has benefited from people leaving X. Blue Sky gained 2.6 million users in the week after X was banned in Brazil. Yeah. Doesn't sound very good. Despite their growth, X last week said it dominated the global conversation. Blue Sky has referenced its competition. Oh, with who? Through tongue-in-cheek comments, including an Election Day post on X referencing Musk watching voting results come in with President-elect Donald Trump. I can guarantee that no Blue Sky team members will be sitting with the president candidate tonight and giving them direct access to control what you see online. No, you've got the media for that. Last year, advertisers such as IBM, NBC Universal, and its parent company Comcast fled X over concerns about their ads showing up next to pro-Nazi content and hate speech on the site in general. Oh, really? So how is Comcast doing these days? Aren't they getting rid of MSNBC? Didn't they just cut MSNBC from their roles because they can't keep the doors open? How is IBM doing? How's their stock doing? How about NBC Universal? How are they doing? See, whenever these companies start to realize how stupid they are, they'll be going, "Oh, come nobody finds us relevant anymore." Well, the same reason that you only have the Amish that are using wagon wheels, and you're the last one through the door. So there you go. None of this is news. This is industry public relations disguised as news, aided and abetted by the legacy media that profits handsomely off of pharma advertising. Ooh, just bring it down. It's so tasty. It's a filthy game, folks. But this is why media literate and most of its audience serves as an inoculation to the propaganda via The Guardian, emphasis added. Donald Trump's nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Health Secretary of Human Services has prompted widespread criticism towards Kennedy, an anti-vaccine activist who has embraced a slew of other debunked health-related conspiracy theories. In response to Kennedy's nomination, Public Citizen, here you go. Here's your nonprofit, a progressive nonprofit organization focusing on consumer advocacy, said Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a clear and present danger to the nation's health. He shouldn't be allowed in a building at the Department of Health and Human Services, let alone be placed in charge of the nation's public health agency. Apu Akkad, an infectious disease physician at the University of Southern California, called the announcement a scary path for public health. Apu Akkad. Really? Meanwhile, reading between the lines, the real terror is not the nation's health, but the pharmaceutical industry that has run the U.S. state policy on things health for many long decades, going on a century. CNN, emphasis added, of course, shares a prominent of prominent vaccine makers plunged Thursday after President-elect Donald Trump announced his pick of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the next Secretary, Department of Health and Human Services. An hour before the market closed Thursday, as news reports of Trump's choice began trickling out, COVID-19 vaccine maker Moderna dipped as much as 6%. And Pfizer fell almost 2%. Noravax, which created the protein-based COVID-19 vaccine, fell almost 6%, which is pretty small compared to what you can watch Donald Trump's stock for True Social drop. It'll drop 20% in a day. It'll also gain like 50% in a day. Kennedy has been one of this country's year's most prominent anti-vaccine conspiracy theorists for years and has frequently spread falsehoods about the safety and efficacy of vaccines. Last week, Kennedy said he would immediately begin studying vaccine safety and efficacy, but promised not to take vaccines away from anybody's. Other vaccine-related companies also felt the fallout. German company BioNTech closed 7% lower. British GSK fell 2%. U.S. vaccine companies have already been struggling thanks to the less demand since the peak of the pandemic. Over the past year, Pfizer stock has dipped 11%. Moderna stock has plunged 46%. Here, I'd like to reiterate my personal view that if these big pharma executives escape a Trump's presidency with just a fall in stock price as consequent for decades of malfeasance, Trump will have failed to do his job properly. There need to be speedy and mercilessly prosecutions of these people. Examples must be made. Heads, proverbially speaking, must be rolling. And like Volstorm said, most definitely. But you see a lot of these big pharmacy companies, a lot of their CEOs are stepping down. They're running. They're hiding. It's like, oh, shit. We thought that our money would get us out of this trouble. But, oh, no, it hasn't happened. Oh, no, it's not happening right now. It will. Another story from PJ Media. Maybe. Oh, yeah. I'm off to dream about me. Good to see you. Have you heard of the BBL smell? It's fascinating. I think it's of great importance. No, I haven't heard of that. But I do know that tonight, the expert is going to be having another wonderful FNL. So you go and make sure that you're checking that out. Go and check that out tonight. Clean up on aisle 9, please. Go get some rest, brother. Go get some rest. Oh, no. You go get popcorn. The expert grows. On January 30th, 2020, the Trump administration conducted a drone strike near Baghdad International Airport, killing Iranian Major General Soleimani. Qassem, I think is the name. Soleimani had a long record of waging surrogate wars against Americans, especially during the Iraq conflict and its aftermath. After the Trump cancellation of the Iran deal, which a lot of people forgot all about that, which then, of course, Biden came in and redid that and sent them billions. Especially during the U.S. sanctions, Soleimani reportedly stepped up violence against regional American bases, most of which Trump himself ironically wished to remove. A few days later, Iran staged a performance art retaliatory strike against Americans in Iraq and Syria, assuming that Trump had no desire for a wider Middle East war. So Iran launched 12 missiles that hit 2 U.S. air bases in Iraq. Supposedly, Tehran had warned the Trump administration of the impending attacks that killed no Americans. Later reports, however, suggested that some Americans suffered concussions while more damage was done to the bases than was initially disclosed. Nonetheless, this Iranian interlude seemed to reflect Trump's agenda of avoiding the endless wars in the Middle East while restoring deterrence that prevented, not prompted, full-scale conflicts. Yet in a second Trump administration re-threading the deterrence needle without getting into war. Major wars may become far more challenging. The world of today is far more dangerous than when Trump left in 2021. An inept Biden administration has utterly destroyed U.S. deterrence abroad through both actual and symbolic disasters. The Chinese dressing down of U.S. diplomats in Anchorage, the humiliating skedaddle from Afghanistan, the brazen flight of a Chinese spy balloon across the United States, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, the October 7th, 2023 massacre of 1,200 Israelis, the serial Houthi attacks on international shipping in the Red Sea, the visible restraint of Israel from fully replying to Iran's missile attacks in its homeland, and renewed velocity in the part of both North Korea and China towards American allies such as Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. Of course, the second term Trump must radically reform the Pentagon and beef up the military while warning enemies of the consequences to follow from any unwise aggression. But if opponents believe such admonition, saying bad boys remain only vocal threats, that empty verbiage will surely erode further deterrence, such as President Joe Biden's serial and empty bragging. Don't. Biden's past theatrical finger shaking translation into aggressors like Russian President Vladimir Putin going to Ukraine, Iran sending missiles to Israel, the Houthis serially hitting shipping in the Red Sea. Given the past messes of the Iraqi, Libyan, Syrian interventions, and with the catastrophic Biden humiliation in Afghanistan, Trump in 2024 is much more emphatic about the need to avoid such overseas dead end entanglements, or even the gratuitous use of force that historically can sometimes lead to a tit-for-tat entanglements. Still, Trump's election of J.D. Vance as vice president, along with Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., and Tucker Carlson as close advisors, coupled with the announcements that the former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley will not be in the administration, may be misinterpreted by scheming foreign adversaries as proof of Trump neo-isolationism. Moreover, the U.S. is battered by an unsustainable $37 trillion national debt and the non-existent southern border that saw 12 million illegal aliens enter without impunity. With impunity. Sorry. Good morning, Betsy. Good morning. Good morning to all that's joining us. Patrick W., good to see you. Moreover, a woke manpower short military has not achieved strategic advantages from wars abroad while disparaging and alienating the very working class recruits who disproportionately fight and die in these endless wars. Recently, even the president-elect Trump's inner circle emphasized an end to the endless conflicts. Trump warned Putin not to escalate his attacks against Ukraine, yet that advice was followed by a Russian massive drone onslaught against civilian Ukrainian targets. Putin no doubt wishes to encourage American enemies to test Trump's deterrent rhetoric against his campaign's domestic promises to mind America's own business at home. Is there a way to square the deterrence circle? Trump will have to speak clearly and softly while carrying a club, and for the first few months of his administration, he will be tested as never before to make it clearer to Iran and its terrorist surrogates, China, North Korea, and Russia, that aggression against U.S. interests will be swiftly and quietly met with disproportionate and overwhelming repercussions. Yet Trump will likely have to rely on drones, missiles, and airstrikes, and not on major engagements to deter enemies from aggression and his domestic critics from claiming he turned into a globalist interventionist. He is not. Trump remains a Jacksonian, but such deterrence entails warning from time to time, and the reckless and adventurous abroad that our allies have no better friend than America, and our adversaries no worse enemy. In other words, Trump must remind Americans only by periodically deterring enemies can he prevent endless wars. Victor David Hanson is a classicalist and a historian with the Hoover Institution, Stanford University, author of Second World Wars, How the First Global Conflict Was Fought and Won, from Basic Books, and you can reach him by email. And there's his email right there, folks. Go check out his book. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool now, isn't it, that you've got this. Good morning, Elka. Good morning. How are you doing? Good to see all you fine people. Fallstorm. Tonight, the best time on YouTube's FNL. Go check out. Thank you, Fallstorm, for doing that. That's very helpful. I appreciate you. And you can also find Fallstorm there. Hooray for Hollywood. And of course, you get the AP. Trump is already testing Congress and daring Republicans who oppose him. Oh, Washington. After a resounding election victory. Yes, it was, wasn't it, AP? You've been holding off on saying that for over a week now. Assholes. Yeah, they've been holding off on saying anything about the election being overwhelmingly overrun by the President Donald Trump. Oh, they hate that. You know that they're salty over this. Good morning. Woke up, Nanny Goat. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you could make it in. After a resounding election victory delivering what President Donald Trump and Republicans called a mandate to govern, yes, an uneasy political question is emerging. Will there be any room for dissent in the U.S. Congress? Yes, there's always room for dissent. You have to remember that we are a constitutional republic. We are not what the Democrats want to call a democracy. In particular, to dare to defy him over the nominations of Matt Gaetz, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and other controversial choices for his cabinet and administration positions. The promise of a unified government. So wait. Now you're wanting a unified government. Oh, what was it before? Trump bad, Orange Man bad, Russia. That's what people listened to for 4 years. Oh, and now you want unity. You mean after Donald Trump was shot in the head by an attempted assassin, and another attempted assassin was thrown in jail, and they stopped an Iranian assassination, according to the Department of Justice. So, are you telling me that now you want friendship after you've been calling for the death and destruction of Democrat or of Republicans for a whole election cycle? Are you serious now? Now you want forgiveness for all this, AP? Well, go suck balls, because we're just going to continue doing what we do best, and is ignore the ever-living shit out of you and continue to move forward. Welcome back, Stormy. Welcome back. This is going to be a red alert moment for American democracy, and there you go. American democracy. This is what he said on CNN after Trump tapped Gaetz for Attorney General. Trump has returned to the White House at the height of his political power, having won both Electoral College and the popular vote for his party for the first time in decades. Trifecta in Washington offers a tantalizing political opportunity for Republicans, opening up a universe of political and policy priorities, from tax cuts to mass deportation to the gutting of the regulatory and federal bureaucracy. Oh my, woe is me. He's gonna destroy democracy. Oh, AP, it sucks. It sucks so much for you, doesn't it? It really is just absolutely the worst for you. Yeah. They're really, really concerned. What about the children? How does this help the children? Oh my gosh. And they write this whole long article with how bad all these people are. Now wait, don't you get worried, because all these bad people right here have been doing so much more that you don't give them credit for. No, you refuse to give them credit for it. Why is America failing? Being the leading information? It's because of people like Chucky right here. There's people like Chucky that don't understand, or are beginning to understand, what this is all about.
One of the things that's changed even since I got involved in politics is just the rise of the percentage of people who get their information off of platforms that have no fact-checking mechanism and no.
No, it's called freedom of speech. See, sweetheart, because they're not using your fact checkers. That's what you hate. You hate because you can't spread the misinformation. You can't cover up the lies because the lies always get called out. The lies that the media says will always be called out by the little people. The problem is you failed to disclose things like Hunter Biden's laptop. Or how about the efficacy of certain things that we were supposed to be injecting into our body? They failed to disclose what kind of poisons are going into our system via other means. They failed to do all of the things, all of your media, your mainstream media. You have places like the AP that they won't call the election. Hell, I'm surprised they still haven't called the election, leading to people question, well, was it a legitimate presidency or not? But very quick to call it for the other side. Before even a percentage of the votes are in, you have Fox News calling, what was it, Arizona? Yeah, that was a little strange, don't you think? With only 2% of the vote in, they had already called it for one side. Or was it Nevada? I forget. It's irrelevant to the fact that you idiots think that you control what comes in and out of people's ears and eye holes, or what comes out of their gaping maws.
Accountability for having disinformation spread, right?
Oh, here you go. Disinformation, misinformation. Oh, they spread disinformation. No, because when people spread that disinformation, how fast it gets found out that they're wrong and they're lying, people stop listening to them. So it behooves them to have their information correct. Either that or they won't comment on it because they don't know. Unlike the right, the left, the extreme right, the extreme left throw shit out there that may or may not even be true. Same way with you, Saki. How long did you sit up there and whenever Hunter Biden's laptop was being brought out? How long did you deny that? How long did you deny what actually happened on January 6th? How long have they fed us misinformation or told lies? How many times have we heard the left talk about Donald Trump saying that he was injecting bleach into people? Yeah, that was a lie brought to you by the media, the ones that keep talking about misinformation. We've listened to it for the past 4 years, all the misinformation, the disinformation, the lies that the left is told. Do you think people are sick of it yet? That of course they're going to be looking for other outlets to get their news from whenever they're bombarded with the lies from the left constantly. And it's not just that you're getting one company, you're getting it from MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS. I mean, the list goes on. Hell, I can barely even trust anything that Fox News has to say. How easy is it for you? Was it so much denial as it was factual? I think so. I think so. Don't you?
And as you know well, and I mean, when I got started in Democratic politics, most of it was like local TV ads. That was
yeah. When you got started Democrat politics, you actually still had real red hair. Now you get it from a Miss Clairol bottle. Yeah.
What it was about, obviously national TV, local print. Those local TV is held to a higher standard of accountability than social media platforms in terms of having accurate information on their platforms.
They don't.
That is crazy. And so it is, how does it change? How are people held to account? Laws have to change.
I want to ask you about one thing that's gotten some attention this week from the book, which was a story you told about President Biden looking at his watch after caskets had come back from Afghanistan. The story was not told it completely accurately, which you've acknowledged. I know some of the folks, including some of the families of those soldiers who were upset by that.
Yeah. She's full of plenty of information. We're given the story. Given in a story that may or may not even be true. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Think about this. Think very, very hard about this. This was an exchange between Matt Gaetz. Here, I'll just let you watch this and think how fun this is.
Son, what does a gopher build? Can you say it? Well, who knows? A really rich doctor said you were a bummer. And I think you don't know algebra. No, we're talking science, bud. The science of what? Is that a tiger? One of your friends promised me I could flick you in your face. Absolutely, you may not do that.
Hit him in his cringy smirk, for real.
Say any cereal name. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You're like people in the 12th century. Why'd he say it like that? You're a formulated pickle popper.
He's a storm cloud.
I don't like you, dude. And there's a tiger. That's it. You two guys sent the tiger.
I did not. Not me.
What tiger? That is reprehensible.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Brad?
I'm a horrible person.
Brad, I'll report you to Nadine. I just want your leg bones to be okay. I brought the tiger. Really, you got somebody on the organ now? Hey man, you're gonna pay for dinner. You're gonna pay. No, I'm gonna get off him.
I love bad lip reading. Yes. We have fun with that kind of shit again. Not that we didn't stop. It surprises me that they're still so worried about Matt Gaetz. What are they fearing of Matt Gaetz? Do you think Merrick Garland did a great job as AG? Huh? Do you think he did a wonderful job? I know the Democrats are clutching their pearls right now, and they're very, very upset about everything, says Bill Hagerty, Republican from Tennessee. But if you think about how they have weaponized the Department of Justice, this is a situation that needs serious reform. It's President Trump's prerogative to choose who he wants to nominate. Incoming Senate GOP leader John Thune said confirming Trump's nominations will be a priority next year, and senators should expect an aggressive schedule until his nominees are confirmed. Complicating the matter for senators is the Trump campaign's decision not to engage so far for the traditional transition process, having declined to sign agreements with the federal government that they would launch FBI background checks of nominees, among other standard steps before confirmation hearings. Senators may be forced to consider nominees that have not been vetted in the traditional ways. Representative Mike Quigley, Democrat of Illinois, a former member of House Intelligence Committee, worried Americans may be left in the dark about their top officials. People have a right to know who's leading their critical aspects of their government. Oh, do they really? Do they really? There's only one way. There's only one way that this works out very well. And it's not possible for them to completely grasp the meaning of.
He's an asshole. Look at his haircut. Anybody with a haircut like that, you know he's an asshole.
You're paying for dinner. You're paying for dinner. Why did you send a tiger?
Yes, the bad lip reading.
Just like luckily you sent an Auburn tiger, so it's pretty passive and weak this year right now. So one of those down on the plains. They're like little kitty cats this year. Jeez.
Yes. Oh my God. This is the kind of thing. These are the kind of things that your government doesn't want you to hear about. Right here.
Oh, no.
Mr. President,
Senator from Kentucky.
Reserving the right to object. I lived for 4 months in Asheville, worked at the VA hospital, still have fond feelings for Western North Carolina. I have an uncle who lives just up the road from Asheville. I know about the devastation. One of my best friends from my wedding lives in Asheville as well. But the thing is the reason why we won't do this in a responsible way is because the Senate voted to send all your money to Ukraine. When they voted to send $200 billion to Ukraine, I've been all over the mountains of Appalachia. When I ask people, would you rather that your senators take care of you here in Asheville or here in Pikeville, here in Appalachia? Would you rather them send your money to Ukraine? I don't get anybody wanting to send a penny to Ukraine. Look, you can have all kinds of sympathy in the world for Ukraine, a hostility towards Russia being the aggressor nation, but we don't have the money. We're $2 trillion in the hole. Interest this year is going to be $1 trillion. And as far as passing this, I'm willing to let it pass today. He's going to object to passing his own bill today simply because it gets paid for. How crazy is that? Not even let the other side object to it. He's going to object to his own bill. I'm willing to let the bill pass, but take some of the fluff and boondoggle subsidies from the Green New Deal and put it into here. The money's sitting here. We put it into here for disasters. We help Asheville today. Oh, no, it's not the time nor the place to pay for things. The question before the Senate is whether on behalf of the American people, we should borrow and spend an additional $810 million for small business loans. You know who gets small business loans right now? Ukraine. We're funding, 60 Minutes did a special on this, funding a purse and dress store in Ukraine. We fund the Ukrainian government pensions. Look, half of our state governments are short in pensions. Our U.S. government is short in pensions, and we're funding them in Ukraine. So some of the same people who want this immediately now, we don't want to pay for it, are happy to pay for crap all over Ukraine, including government salaries and pensions and small business loans to Ukraine.
Ouch.
You know what? The job of legislators is to make decisions, to set priorities. We don't have an infinite amount of money, but we do have enough money to take care of them in Asheville and in Virginia. Simply pay for it. But realize the people assembled will object to their own bill today. I'm offering their bill. All we got to do is take some money that's laying around in a pot of money, Green New Deal, boondoggle money going to big corporations, and put it in for disaster. We can do that today. You still want to subsidize green energy? Come back and do that next year. Pay for it now. We don't have to borrow hundreds of millions of dollars to bail this program out. But Congress has a habit of refusing to do what you and I would do if faced with a new and large expense. Congress refuses to cut elsewhere, even when saying yes to every new spending proposal and programs that has led to record high inflation. Americans have been forced to learn the hard way that they are the ones who have to pay for Congress's addiction to spending. So I offer a fiscally responsible path to pay for the bill. Spare Americans from increasing the hidden tax of inflation. My amendment would rescind $810 million from the Department of Energy's boondoggle green new energy deals. It's a $4.75 billion program that has had repeated bankruptcies in it previously. It's absurd to force taxpayers to subsidize rich companies with vast resources of their own to gamble on energy projects that the private sector finds too risky. And actually, it should be about priorities. The people in Asheville or the Green New Deal. No, this is the best time to put them in contrast, not some other time when people are not hurting, when people can't see the contrast. Everybody in Asheville should wake up today and find out their senators are going to reject the disaster money because it's paid for. That's it. They're going to reject taking it from the Green New Deal boondoggle and sending it to Appalachia. It can go today. It can go in 10 minutes. I approve of the money. Just take it from somewhere where it's being wasted. Ideally, I'd take it from Ukraine, but that's not available right now. But a lot of the money went to Ukraine also. A 2015 report from the Government Accountability Office found that when 5 companies defaulted on these Green New Deal loans, the government, the taxpayers, lost $800 million. It's not a good program to begin with, but it's an easy place to go looking for something that is more important, like the people of Asheville and North Carolina.
And what's happening in Asheville? Because they don't want they don't like it when you start bringing up what's actually happening in Asheville. They don't like what is being shown. What in the hell is going on? Stop. There we go. Here we go. God bless. I've got too much garbage open. Here we go.
Yeah.
So this is close-up footage. Chandler, North Carolina, Camp Candler, North Carolina, 11/13. Yeah.
But I don't even trust him. So you bet
This
your
is
bottom dollar I'm going to verify. Well, it's only about 9 p.m. I will say there's a shitload of cars here. But looks like it's past everyone's bedtime. It's only 9 p.m. I haven't seen anyone out there, so who knows? Figured I would come, show you what was here. That's all. Just due diligence. Take of it what you may. That's all I'm here to do. Not to mislead you. Just show you what is and let you determine what you believe. A lot of housing though. I mean, it's looks like all those are housing trailers over there.
There's a truck right there. These are the people that are there for FEMA.
Final takeaways. Is it illegal immigrants? Definitely not. Is it FEMA workers? I can't say for sure. First responders? Likely. It's probably a hodgepodge of contractors, and I don't know their associations with FEMA. Maybe some of these are the people that negotiate these weird terms for the forget what they call it, but it's a land acquisition project. Point being, regardless of who's occupying those facilities, don't you think with all the resources and assets FEMA had, they could do the same for the survivors? Especially considering that these people are losing children due to the fact that they don't have those very resources. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that people who are coming here to help also need resources. But I think there should be at least a conversation and a dialogue about how to properly allocate those funds and resources, because if there was a pie chart that depicted the percentage of resources that went to FEMA workers, their hotel rooms, their car rentals, the contractors that they house and feed, the catering companies, you name it, whatever, the fuel, the generator rentals. If you had a pie chart of all that they used for their own comforts, creature comforts, it would be extremely disproportionate to the money that they have given towards housing some of these displaced people. That's really my takeaway personally. All these FEMA workers that are going around facilitating land grabs, and all the shady contractors that they work alongside, offering demolitions and buying out the properties for pennies on the dollar, they're sleeping nice and cozy at night. And everyone else that's out here that's been affected and displaced, that's vulnerable already, well, they're getting their kids taken and they're living in tents.
No lies. No lies discovered in that at all.
I'll be damned if you're taking my kids from me. They're gonna leave some body bags for those trying to take them. Is all I can say.
And I mean, think about this. For the last 4 years, the people that are so against RFK, this is their last 4 years right here, all summed up. The last 4 years, this is what we dealt with for 4 years. This is what we saw for 4 years.
Were those playing in like a symphony or a band, like a concert band or something, and they have masks that have holes in the middle so they can play their instruments? Because that's going to actually filter anything.
This was the amount of insanity that we dealt with for 4 years. This is the insanity that
and they'll do it again because people allowed it to happen. Because the people sat back and allowed it to happen.
This is what we saw. A guy spraying down his freaking coffee cup with hand sanitizer. This is what we saw for 4 freaking years. Old women wrapped in plastic bags just so they could hug their grandchildren. And they want to call the left unhinged and crazy.
Right.
The left wants to call the right unhinged and crazy.
Yeah.
This is the garbage that we saw, that we watched. Do you think that people might be a little bit tired of it? Do you think that people are sick of it and they're starting to step up and they have things to say about that?
If we're being intellectually honest, there's really no good reason why Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr., should be HHS secretary. An advisor, a confidant, somebody who talks to the president and advises. But there's no managerial experience in his resume. There's nothing that says he is qualified to do this job that is in charge of the health of all of us, all these different lanes. If he has views and has insights around food sources, around vaccines, then those should be given in advisory roles.
Why?
Because
what were the qualifications of the previous ones?
Well, I think it's important to always remember.
They were DEI hires. That was their qualification.
What were the management qualifications? I mean, Xavier Becerra.
I'm not talking about the previous. I'm looking forward.
No, but you're calling into question whether he could actually do this.
Go ahead.
That's why he's actually asking an honest question here. What was the previous guy's qualifications? Managerial qualifications.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about going forward. Oh, yeah. No, that conversation.
But you have to have some backwards measurement looking back to be able to measure going forward.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of we'll say, it doesn't matter that Becerra was a complete buffoon and had no experience and no qualifications. We want RFK doesn't either, but that's what matters. He's going to best thing they could do is eliminate any pharmaceutical ads because that doesn't happen in the other countries. And cut out the damn additives. You get like kids cereal, like Fruit Loops in Europe is like 5 ingredients, and here it's like 30.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's no excuse for that.
Right. Wallstrom's right. If Camel Toe had won and made RFK Jr. head of the HHS, they would have said it was.
Oh, they were saying it's the greatest hire ever. Yeah. Because Arch made that.
Absolutely. I think America is now, and I think
it's important to discuss it because Xavier Becerra was just a lawyer and a politician with no management experience.
So does two negatives, two wrongs make a right?
Sylvia Burwell was a Walmart lobbyist. Donna Shalala was a university person. Look,
RFK Jr. is a nut.
Okay, so that's different than what you just said. You just said he doesn't possess the requisite managerial experience, but then we get to the real issue here, which is you want to insult the man, which is your right to do because you opposed them in the election. But you, doctor, are raising the issues that he has been raising, and I think they're appropriate questions to raise. I don't know whether he can be confirmed or not. The vaccine stuff at the table is obviously going to be the flashpoint of this hearing. But I'll tell you one thing. This whole issue of the CDC and these public health agencies, look, public trust in the health regime in this country is as low as it's ever been.
But why?
It's because of COVID.
Right.
Because of school closures. Because of mask mandates. Because this country was... Because
of a vaccine that doesn't work. That kills people.
No, I can't. Hold on. And now see, I can't confirm any of that. I can't confirm any of that.
That's it is out there. The facts and the evidence out there.
We have to give both sides of this. We because I don't need another strike here. I'm telling you right now that is the most effective thing that they have ever come out with in the past 30 years. And make sure that you've put your money exactly where it's supposed to be. We know that we can trust our government to do exactly what's correct. No, we're playing it safe here. Playing it safe here. It's perfect. Don't question. Okay. Don't question anything of how great and wonderful this. Yes, best thing ever. Make sure that you are completely taking care of your health in the best way that's possible for you. So there we go.
Going through a bunch of condescending,
can't use their own words against them.
No. You can't do any of that. None of that would be.
Brandon is right. This does seem to be the CNN's sole conservative here, and he's lighting this idiot up.
Yes, he is.
Mandates that all turned out to be garbage, and that's why it's low. And the questions are valid.
And RFK is the answer to all of that.
Yeah, but RFK helped promote the assault on the CDC that lowered the disinformation.
No, the CDC led
more
to
than
its
a
own
million deaths, Scott. More than a million deaths in the United States, higher than any other industrialized nation per capita. That's the result of failed policies. The demonization of the conspiracy theories
policies
all right,
under the Trump administration.
John, let me let.
Yeah.
My wife's got a master's in public health, and she hates that. She at one point she was applying to work for the CDC before COVID. After seeing how the health agencies and across the country handled that, she's like, she's embarrassed to do it.
Yes,
she can't. She's like, how can I trust anything?
This is what we watched for 4 years. I joke not. This was 4 years of this.
That's just
that's the kind of shit we dealt with for 4 years.
But they want us to follow the science, but these types of viruses mutate so much. They're constantly changing. I can remember growing up in the 90s in school, they're like, there will never be a cure for the common cold. The common cold is a coronavirus. It's the common cold. There will never be a cure for it because it's constantly changing. Faster than we can make anything up to stop it. The same thing with the flu. Why do we still have the flu if we have a flu vaccine that's supposedly going to stop? It changes every year. They have to guess which strains are going to be more prominent in a year to then to guess what vaccine, which one they need to create and manufacture and hope that it works. Because they just don't know. It's constantly changing.
But yet they're completely concerned for you That is their concern for you. Do you want to see how concerned, how they're actually concerned about following the rule of law? Well, here, listen right out of their own word, right out of their own mouths.
We reject all three categories of these ballots.
Your motion is to reject or dismiss the challenges in this category in front of you?
Correct. Yep.
Not going to second that, mostly because I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
You know who that is? You
want to know? I was cutting in and out for me, so I'm not sure.
That right there is the Democrats in Bucks County, Pennsylvania Commission. They voted to count misdated and uncounted ballots, directly violating the Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision. They just said precedent by a court doesn't matter. People violate laws anytime they want.
Then they should be They should be held in contempt. They should be thrown in jail. They should be charged with election law violations.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to expressly violating the court orders, because they were ordered not to count those. Specifically ordered not to count them. So they need to be held in contempt by the courts. Because I know if I'm a judge and you deliberately disobey my order, your ass is being held in contempt.
Yeah. It is amazing that they think that we're not going to forget the garbage that they pulled. They think that them doing that is
Brandon. I'm such a salt chat. I'm sorry. I'm stealing my talking points.
Yes. Brandon, the best thing that is when the FDA denied the application for the test. I read it, and they basically were using the wrong type of test. Impressive. Why don't you peasants know your place? But yet they want us to stop listening to social media and people talking about what they're seeing. They want to deny the truth. I am going to do a quick break. I'm going to grab some coffee. Do you want to talk to people, or do you want me to give them the music?
I'll play some music. All
right. All right. We're going to
on the road,
play a little bit of music. All right. We're going to have
got a lot of big trucks around me.
Those are tires. Yes. Good. Get just some coffee.
Sandy shores, get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to effing see. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Has the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling. Has the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling. Has has the sun, he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
He stopped it. I'm sitting here singing. These two are having an effing blast.
I don't know anyone who died of the coof. I know people that
Of or with
it,
from it or with it.
With it, I know of 3 people that died with it.
Yeah, I don't know there's how many there were that died actually from it, because I don't know that there were any.
I do know that there were quite a few that died while they had something injected into their veins. I do know there was quite a few of those.
So it was amazing. The flu just absolutely disappeared one year.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's almost like they changed the name of it to something else. Because my wife was like, well, of course, everybody was wearing masks and social distancing. She can't, that whole public health mindset doesn't go away. It's like, well, think about it logically. There still should have been, if the flu is just as contagious, there should have been flu too.
Yeah. Yeah. I have got to show this, because this right here needs to be pointed out how crazy the left is.
Neither the are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. So serious. Nobody talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me, whatever.
Those who know you say you love teaching. How hard is it to walk away from that?
It's hard right now because, this is not who I am as a professional or who I am as a teacher. I've devoted my whole life to this, preparing my whole life. I always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was a young child. I finally worked my way up to that. And I am well respected, which I appreciate. I love my students. I love their families. I love the people I work with. I'm just trying to do what's right now to get my life back on track and get back to what I love. And it's my biggest passion in the world.
What's your message to those parents?
Those parents, I am so sorry that you had to see that side of me, because the only side of me I ever wanted you to see was what you saw and what I did for your kids and what I did for you. And I hope that I was always a support and always did everything that I possibly could for you. And I promise you that I intended to, and I did everything I could to be there for the families and the parents, and just how sorry I am that now this is out there and they have to see this side of me.
She's sorry she got caught.
This all started to unfold when that video was released earlier this week, prompting the school and police to investigate. She posted it on Snapchat. A friend of hers reposted it, and that's when it went viral. Dunleavy also told me today that police updated her today, and Cheshire Police say they do not plan to charge her.
The hell? There was like a pack of like little Yorkies on the side of the highway. It's like a gang of them running down the side of the road. It's like four or five of them. What the hell?
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally on the side of the highway here. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell was that?
Yeah, this is puppy mills are out for school. You stole my words, MG. You're not getting near my child. But just imagine that some of these.
But the thing is how many teachers that have this same mentality, they just haven't gone off over the edge yet and shaved their head. So I guarantee you there's a large percentage of them that are feeling the same way.
But they're calling for fight. They're calling for violence. And they said and the schools need to step up and get this crap taken care of.
It's gonna be like the new like George W. and Bill Clinton friendship, like how they were so buddy. Just kidding.
God, yes. Oh, this is hilarious. I love it. Cooking classes, riding them. Yep. Oh, those kill me. That kills me. Go ahead.
I got nothing to say.
Oh, I thought you were ready to say something. Here, check this out. Here's the old border bar.
I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now.
We are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
No.
I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
It is not an emergency. We are not facing a crisis. We have a president of the United States.
Just because you say we're not facing a crisis doesn't make it so.
Yes. I know.
You've listed millions of people who just have now taken jobs that other workers can't have, Americans can't have, because they want cheap labor.
Uh-huh.
Held up the United States government and its workers around his vanity project called a wall.
To the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
The idea that he is trying to say that we have people that are trying to invade our country to commit mass crime is a crisis of his own making.
Oh, really?
I specialize in
So listen, we can't believe our own eyes.
that war ain't gonna stop them. No.
There's a 600% increase in sex trafficking of women and children. Border Patrol has arrested more terrorists coming across the border in 1 month than Trump had in 4 years. This is the biggest national security vulnerability this country's ever had. Donald Trump would be the president. I'll be in the middle of running the biggest deportation operation this country's ever seen.
I am not for a wall. We don't need to build a wall. This is a crisis of his own making. The President of the United States has a vanity project that he doesn't want to give up. It's the president's vanity project. This issue is about a vanity project for this president.
Right.
The president's vanity project.
Yeah.
Let me be very clear. I'm not
told her
going to
that was a
under
good
any
phrase.
circumstances. It will not end with a wall. It will not end with a wall.
It will not end with a wall?
No.
All right.
He comes back, I come back, we fix this shit.
Well, because I'd have gotten in trouble if I were him, because I'd have said the cartels, once we're back in, and said we're coming to wipe you off the face of the fucking planet.
Yes.
I'd have dropped an F-bomb there.
Oh man. There is so many things that I've seen. Oh my God. So Chrissy Mayer created one, and somebody else created one that was just as bad, the acronyms. of like these groups that Trump is making. And this is this is
Okay. All right. First, I want to know who is our fact checker, huh? Yeah, that would be me. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Why are you asking? Yeah. Well, here's a fact. You're fired. Yeah. Well, here's another question. Anyone here hate space travel? Anyone? All right, you're fired. All right, let's relax. Let's play some music. Francis, you're fired. See ya. Start, man. Well, guess what? You're now fired, Steve. Now, let me ask, do any of you own Teslas? I see. For the two that did not raise their hand, you know what's up.
You're fired.
You're fired.
So, yes, let me know by raising your hand if you're okay working over 100 hours a week, but not receiving overtime pay. I guess you're fired.
Wait. Is it just me, or don't you think that you and Amber Heard would have made a great couple?
Yeah, I agree. All right, you can stay. Now let's bring it.
That's fake. Just so you guys know, that's fake. That's not real. Oh my God. That made me laugh. I'm sorry. I have to break it up a little bit because we have a little more news from PJ Media here, and it's a good one. Bernie Sanders is the only one who gets it right in New York Times election post-mortem. It's been interesting to watch the Democrats and their flying monkeys in the mainstream media attempt to examine what went wrong with them in this election. They know that the beatdown delivered by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance was so thorough that they can't dismiss it as merely an anomaly from which they can easily bounce back. The reason they're at least willing to try and figure things out is because they have begun to lose their grip on some reliably dumb voting blocks, namely Latinos, young black men, and the indoctrinated youth. It was a wake-up call that left them disoriented. That disorientation is evident in the blame game that has erupted on the American left. Most of them don't have any clue as to why they really lost. And we showed you why they were losing constantly over here. Confusion is the overriding factor in why they don't and may never grasp the essence of their failure in the 2024 presidential election. The real problem for the Democrats is they rarely engage in any sort of introspection. They are practically allergic to any kind of self-reflection. The Democrats' default is to blame Republicans for their failures. If only the GOP were functional and powerful, right? Well, the latest roundtable examination of Democrats 2024 comes to us from one of its major players, the New York Times, which also supported a certain German artist that had a funny mustache. The depressed and demoralized Democrat Party is beginning the painful slog into largely powerless future as its leaders grapple with how deeply they underestimated Donald J. Trump's resurgence hold on the nation. The nationwide repudiation of the party stunned many Democrats who had expressed a nauseous confidence about their chances in the final weeks of the race. As they shifted through the wreckage of their defeats, they found no easy answers as to why voters so decisively rejected their candidates. As with almost every post-election MSN article about what went wrong, Dems are quick to blame Joe Biden for not dropping out sooner. He's a convenient scapegoat, but the blame shouldn't be directed at Democrat National Committee, as my good friend and partner in crime, Stephen Green, said and wrote so many times in the last few months. If the Dems had let RFK Jr. debate Biden during the primaries, the old boy would have been out plenty early. The DNC had been rigging Democrat primaries in different ways for a long time. This year's trick was to wrap up the fragile elderly candidate in a cocoon and protect him from having to do any election year stuff until the very last possible moment. They reaped what they sowed, and Joe Biden had nothing to do with it. as long as he remains the primary culprit in the debacle, they're looking at a rough 2028. Very true. According to its authors, more than 24 interviews were conducted for this article. Most of the responses that were covered show the general state of cluelessness among the Dems. The only one that makes any sense was offered by Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, the longtime progressive standard bearer, blamed what he called the party's
progressive standard bearer. He's a socialist.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's not much difference, but
yes. But Bernie's right. Their emphasis on identity politics at the expense of focusing on economic concerns of working class voters. It's not just camel toe, he said. It's Democrat Party, which increasingly has become a party of identity politics rather than understanding that the vast majority of people in this country are working class. The trend of workers leaving the Democrat Party started with the whites and it accelerated to the Latinos and the blacks. Mr. Sanders, a political independent who has long criticized the influence of the party's biggest donors and vendor operatives, offered a pessimistic forecast whether or not the Democrat Party has the capability, given who funds it and its dependency on well-paid consultants, whether it has the capability of transforming itself remains to be seen. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Of course, Sanders isn't even a Democrat. He only registers with them when he wants to run for president as a target of the aforementioned DNC primary rig. And he isn't afraid to be critical of the party. Throughout the entire election. Oh, yeah. Like multiple times. Do you think he's going to hold back on him? Throughout the
he keeps caucusing with him. You'd think he'd learn his damn lesson.
No, because the Republicans won't have anything to do with it. I mean, they're like, you're welcome to come in here, but you're not going to keep spreading your socialist views. We don't agree with that. Yeah. I stuck to one firm belief about how things were really playing out in America's heartland. I repeatedly said that I believe that Joe and Martha, Democrat in Flyover USA, couldn't possibly feel much of a connection with the drag queen story hour Dems on the coast. They were too worried about their grocery budgets to get excited about Jean-Pierre's black lesbian on her resume. The rightward trends in the coastal blue states would indicate the Dems were there feeling that disconnect as well, because Sanders is viewed as a burr under the Democrat saddle by the party elite. It's unlikely they'll give his opinion serious thought right now, even as they treated Sanders as a wise elder statesman. No, they don't listen.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Democrats remain all in on identity politics. They can't take the chips out of that pot.
They have been. That's all they have. They have to divide everybody and pit them against each other. Because they can't run on actual policies because their policies don't work.
Exactly.
They have to scare everybody.
They jumped on. You notice that they jumped so hard onto the bandwagon of calling Latinos Latinx.
Yeah,
because of a few, and people are just like, no,
Latinos hate that.
No, if you no, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. They can't take their chips out of that pot. That's why there was never any choice but camel toe when Biden was out of the way. I spent a good chunk of the year arguing with the conservative throngs who insisted that Gavin Newsom was eventually going to be on the 24 ballot. There's no way that the black female vice president was going to be kicked to the curb and replaced by a white dude. Not in today's Democrat Party.
I mean, the Indian vice president.
Yes. Not surprisingly, she's part black, part Indian. The Times authors don't examine their employers' overwhelming role in the Democrats' failure this year. The gray lady is the 800-pound gorilla that sits atop the Democrats' false narrative machine. The Times protected Joe Biden, portrayed his obvious decline as something the Republicans were making up just to be mean. The organization then became the primary architect of Camel Toes Harris's myth that she was constructed after July 21st. Then there is the fact that rather than even attempted to objectivity, try and figure out why Trump is so popular with Republican voters. The Times editorial board and opinion section writers felt that all they had to do was turn their demonization screeching machine up to 11. The confidence that Democrats felt was created and fed by the New York Times. The good news for Republicans is that Times coastal media bubble overlords won't be getting any clue any quicker than the Dem politicians. And also, this is the writer right there. PJ senior media columnist, associate editor Stephen Cruiser is a professional stand-up comic writer, recovering political activist who edits and writes PJ's morning briefing. Yeah, it's hilarious that people did not, the people on the left really missed out on it. They missed the boat, and they've shown, and they're constantly showing exactly who they are. Constantly.
Oh, the holy black and Kamala was William.
Anybody who is on the fence about becoming a lesbian, now is your chance. Like, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Let's give these fucking men up. Like, I'm telling you, this shit's greener on the other side. Like, come on. Anybody who is on the fence.
See what I mean? Yeah. It's become identity.
They always get where they're going faster. So,
but this is something that I thought was pretty awesome. Someone wrote this 6 years ago. And because of your icon there, I thought it was appropriate to bring up. In your darkest hour, the squirrel arrives. You swerve to avoid a squirrel. Unknown to you, the squirrel pledges a life debt to you. In your darkest hour, the squirrel arrives.
Oh yes, the prophecy was fulfilled.
Do you think that was 6 years ago? Do you think that was true? This election cycle? I think that was more true than people even know.
Oh yeah. Especially close. That was the October surprise we were all waiting on. Except that happened in November. Oh no, actually it was the end of October, yeah. That's about right.
Yeah, the end of October. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it me, or do Trump administration pics look like these guys?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's putting together a team that can save the world, just not the economy, the world. Then he got Elon Musk, okay? His role is to see what the government been doing with our tax money.
Like the Iron Man, Elon Musk, the Iron Man. You got Captain America, Haysworth. You got Tulsi Gabbard is what is it? The
Black Widow.
Black Widow. I mean, it's just like really? Oh God.
Money, okay? And I'm here for it. Because Elon needs to let me know if they've been spending my money on illegal immigrants. I want to see how much money they had on those food stamp cards and those vouchers. And if they've been sending my money to the prison so men can get transgender surgery. Or you've been using my money on alien experiments, UFOs, TikTok, conspiracy theory. And you got the House and the Senate? Man, they're taking over the world. This team looks like they're going to conquer the world, just not the economy, okay? They got Elon Musk to conquer the sky. They got JFK to conquer the food. They got Tom Hartman to conquer the border. What's next? Where's Aquaman? Because that's all who you missing. He going to be conquering the ocean? And Trump, you must be Thanos. This is one hell of a team, and I'm here for it. Trump 24. The Avengers 2.0.
I love her. That's awesome. Oh God. Oh God. But you saw this one in Salt Lake, right?
Yeah, I saw that last night. Too bad she didn't go to ground. Too bad it didn't take her to ground on that one.
They cut power to all the residents because she was up here.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She ought to be barbecue right now.
Yeah, you're losing your skirt. Why are you losing your skirt there, sweetheart? She just pooped? I think she just pooped. Yeah. Yeah, this is people losing their freaking minds. More than 800 Utah homes lost power after the woman climbs on high voltage transformer inside a substation.
Did you see Keister Bunny's chat? I can get behind this theory.
According to my son, our timelines went off course the day Harambe died, and Peanut shoved us back on course. That's right.
I hope so.
That's right. Is she twerking? No, I think there's a little poop that came out of her skirt there. Yes. Welsh and Bama, great song. Yes.
But Wes and Ben was saying he's got to make the decision to stay here or watch Rick and Bubba. Well, stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Rick and Bubba's fun, but stay here.
Yeah. And you can tell how salty these people are.
We talked about recess.
On the issue of vetting, though, how critical is it then to have access to what the House Ethics Committee has found in their investigation?
I think there should not be any limitation on the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation, including whatever the House Ethics Committee has generated.
So you want to see it?
Absolutely.
Totally.
We talked about.
Yeah. Going after the AG confirmation.
Well, of course, even though the FBI already investigated before the House started their investigation, they didn't find anything.
Exactly. But you have to remember that this right here triggers them.
And we haven't even gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it, loves her.
And I actually
what actual basis do they have for that?
Mm-hmm.
They have none.
Mm-hmm. By Stormy.
Yeah. Gates. Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating. And Tulsi Gabbard's nomination, as much as she says that she's an anti-war person, she's not.
Yeah.
She supports very pro-war individuals,
including in Syria.
And let's be very clear:
Yeah.
a Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank. Period.
As is Donald Trump as president of the United States.
Oh yes, because how many wars did we get into while he was president last time?
Yeah, he's been.
How many new wars?
Someone's about to throw some truth down. It will not be interrupted. This is some truth that you're going to love. You're going to love hearing this.
All these celebrities, Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, Oprah.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
You're going to look an audience in the face and you're going to tell them that if you vote for Donald Trump, you may not ever be able to cast a vote again. Who believed that? Who believed that coming from Oprah?
She didn't even believe it.
Truly, who believed that? This is the kind of stuff that alienates an electorate, that alienates a vote or a voter. Because the freedom that you tell them they have, you try to confiscate morally by letting them know you ain't worth a damn unless you vote the way we say you should vote. Who's going to go for that in a general election with an economy rife with inflation, with over 12 million people coming crossing the borders, with people wondering about their dollars, the dollars that they earn, the dollars that they have in their pocket, the value of that dollar dissipating before our very eyes. But in the same breath, you're telling them that you got to take even more money out of their pocket to finance immigrants that come all across the border illegally at the behest of the Democratic Party looking to secure a voting bloc. Did you think that would work? Did you think that would work?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
That really was one of the greatest of the day, but not as great as this lady. I know that everybody's seen this one.
So I was going through TikTok and I heard that they're going to start jumping Southern women because we voted red. I'm not real sure that that's a great idea. Let me show you these leggings that I have. These are called lethal leggings, and they have a little spot for your tool. So I was just sitting here, and I was going to do a makeup video. Oh, that's not my eyeshadow brush. Yeah. So that's what they said. They were going to start jumping the Southern women because that's not my brush, because we voted for Trump. You might want to rethink that. Oh, that's not my lipstick. It might not work out well for you, because some Southern women, we've been trained. But yeah, that's what I heard, is that us Southern women are in danger now.
She's awesome. So you're coming after Southern women?
Oh yeah, good luck.
Yes, good luck. Good luck. Oh my God. I mean, and you'll hear the left screaming, saying, well, not even Pence wanted Trump in there. Well,
along the way, the Biden administration has been slow in providing military support. Make no mistake about this. We promised them 33 Abrams tanks in January. I heard again 2 weeks ago in Ukraine, they still don't have them. We've been telling them we'll train their F-16 pilots, but now they're saying maybe January we'll let somebody transfer some jets.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President. Have you? I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States, and it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of US tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern. I'm running for president of the United States because I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
But you just talked about how you were worried about Ukraine.
Yes.
You can say it's not your concern. So the words just out of your mouth a minute before was about Ukraine and not having enough military equipment from us.
And here it comes.
Honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support, though, for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill, and no?
No. Do we need support for gas stations? We don't. There's no need for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies. Also for oil and gas.
Think about also how this affects your competitors.
I mean, maybe they need it. I don't know. I'm in favor of deleting subsidies. I mean, when we started Tesla, there were no EV subsidies at all, and gasoline was super cheap. The $7,500 tax credit came as a result not of Tesla activity, but of General Motors lobbying for it. I would just say delete them all.
There's some other good things in this bill. Some would argue. I mean, a lot of money earmarked for R&D. Would you want to put that towards something?
No.
No.
Nope.
All right, we're going to move on from the bill because I think
stop spending our money on this stuff.
In general, if we don't cut government spending, there's something really bad's going to happen. This is crazy. Our spending is so far in excess of revenue, it's insane. Honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, stop subsidizing. Same thing with freaking ethanol.
Yes, ethanol.
And corn subsidies. Stop subsidizing that shit.
It's
ridiculous.
And they're not learning. Like, they're wanting to pass these bills for subsidies.
Oh yeah, well they want to because the bigger car companies are lining their pockets to vote for them. They want those. They can't compete with Tesla in the electric vehicle market. They have the subsidies because their economy of scale is not at the same level as Tesla, so they can't make affordable vehicles.
No. No, and they've been on top of the market for freaking ever. I mean, if you walk through a parking lot, what are your chances that you're going to see more GMs and Fords than you're going to see Teslas?
No.
Like
when you give
GM
subsidies to something like that, you actually make them more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because the manufacturers, whoever the seller knows, you're going to get $7,500 credit. So I'm going to raise my price to accommodate for that.
Yeah.
I'm very, very concerned that someone that could be entrusted with our nation's health, RFK Jr., has recently said, and I quote, that he plans to have a big role in the administration as it relates to health, and it's just days ago pledged to gut the NIH, firing hundreds of scientists and researchers on day one. I'm going to show.
Yes,
this is
as they
from
should.
ABC News.
And if they want their job back, then they can be rehired.
Days ago, which if we're talking about pandemic preparedness, and with
Fire
all due
them all.
respect to the committee and the work, the fact that we're considering to bring somebody on with no scientific or medical credentials, who's falsely claimed for decades that vaccines cause autism, who has quite frankly said just outrageous comments about science and medicine, that this person would come in to gut the NIH, I think is shameful. I think is shameful. And Ms. Green, you can clap all you want, but it is shameful, it's dangerous, and if this committee is about pandemic prevention, we should be very concerned as a country that RFK Jr. could be put in charge of health when he is a vaccine denier and has caused great harm to the American public.
So do I need to show the masks again that they had people running around and wearing? Do I need to show that again?
I don't think it's not necessarily a vaccine denier. It is for all the kids. Look at the vaccine schedules from when we were growing up versus now, and how many that kids get now before they turn a year old, 2 years old. They get more than we ever got, when we were that age.
Yeah,
So
I mean this.
I'm gonna have to. I'll be back in a minute. I got a phone call coming in. So
is this what we need to see? Remember this? Yeah. People forgot about this.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your phone call. Do we need more of that, or do we need somebody that's gonna start questioning? Or do we need people that are going to start questioning things? I mean, it's amazing to me that they're failing to understand what's been happening in the United States and say, oh, this is okay, this is normal. And now we've got another story. Here we go. Let's bring this up. This is also by PJ Media. Government has become like Norton antivirus. The tentacles are so deeply entangled in every aspect of business, private living, that you can't fully remove them without damaging future logistics. That is so damn true. Yeah. Your state makes 54 billion in ethanol every year. No, your state doesn't make that. You think your state makes that. It's the manufacturers of ethanol that make that. The U.S. needs to reduce their forces in EU, stop footing the bill for UN, NATO, make the EU stand up and defend their own. Yeah. Stop sending money to all these countries for random shite. Yes. Ford is losing millions on their EVs. In your opinion, that's why the internal combustion engine F-150 is overpriced now. Run, MRFers, run. We've got a wonderful story here by the wonderful Megan Fox. Being a good winner doesn't include cancel mobs, written by the one and only Megan Fox, the writer. Going viral on X isn't all it's cracked up to be. It happened to her this week, and I'd like to rather think it hadn't. Let her explain. Her daughter started her first year of college in September. Her father and I had a lot of conversations without her about starting small, somewhere inexpensive to be fiscally sound, living at home, getting an associate's degree, and then moving on to her college of her choice. Being our eldest and most responsible child, she agreed not to kill our finances right out the gate. We were happy with this decision. When she signed up for classes and I saw the reading list for her English and sociology classes, I told her she was going to have trouble with those due to the far left nuttery evident in the material listed. But we all lived through it. I dropped out of college after having to pay for it myself and realizing I was throwing money at an institution that was hell-bent on turning me into a Marxist. I didn't just see the upside for me. I had honed my writing skills in the year and a half, and I stuck it out. Learned news writing, was getting A's, and just decided I'm done paying these lunatics. I think I can go to work now. And that's what I did. But if you're in college because you eventually want a law degree or some other specialized degree, you can't just walk out like I did. You've got to get through it. But considering how the country overwhelmingly voted for massive change, shouldn't we expect our colleges and universities to catch up on the times? I think so. So I posted what I thought was an innocuous statement about the current debacle my daughter is going through with an obnoxious assignment in her sociology class. And before you ask, yes, it's required. And then all hell broke loose. My daughter was given an assignment to write a paper on inequality. She chose men in women's sports. Her professor has informed her she can't use that topic. She may write about the inequality that trans women face in sports, but not the inequality women face because of trans. Here, let's pull it up and I'll finish reading it here. But she may write about not because of trans women in sports. Make it make sense. That was what the rest of it said. I had no idea this would take off. Over 6 million people would read it and over 9,000 would comment. If you thought going viral was a fun experience, let me assure you that it wasn't. Immediately calls to expose the professor and the school began from the right, and calls to expose me as a liar began on the left. And so she responded, okay, that was fun. If I don't respond, it's because I've muted this post now. Many of you have gone overboard on both sides of this issue, and I'd like a break. Go hug your families, touch grass, or tune into your show at 8 p.m. This should be fun. And then she was on with Tug and Vigilantes in Otter Creek. And Bruce writes, no professor at any university micromanages students in what topics they can research. Way to manufacture outrage that doesn't exist. Isn't line one of them the 10 Commandments? And her response was, wow, this seems to have touched a nerve. A few things, it's college sociology, it's required class. My daughter isn't interested in blowing up her relationship with her professor in the beginning of the year if she doesn't have to. I will not give anyone the name of the professor. I will not give anyone the name of the school or the professor. Then you are part of the problem. Yeah, this was the response that people were giving her. My intention on posting about this assignment that my daughter had discussed with me wasn't to destroy the life of her professor or embarrass the school. After all, she just started there and must remain there for the next 2 years. Switching schools now would be expensive and disruptive in her life. My goals for my children are to help them navigate reality. Colleges and universities are all left-wing dominated spaces. We have to help them thrive there unless we can pay big bucks to send them to private colleges run by sane people. I don't have that kind of budget with 2 more kids behind her on their way to higher education. But I'd like to put both sides of the debate I started to rest. I'm not a liar. I have the entire assignment and plenty of evidence that this has happened. I have decided to post parts of the assignment without identifying information so that the public can see that this stuff is happening and that professors do indeed try to direct the topics students can use, contrary to the naysayers who claim this is impossible. Exposing the professor in the school is the wrong thing to do for several reasons, and well, she wants you to deal with the assignment first. The Social Inequality Project asks you to use your sociology imagination to understand the course concepts to explore an aspect of social inequality related to class, gender, or race. The project is a series of short papers culminating in a combined portfolio. Part 1 requires you to do the following: identify and describe the inequality you are investigating: class, race, gender. Identify two sources of social structures you believe are the cause or are perpetuating forces in the inequality, and explain your choices considering factors such as power, privilege, oppression, and opportunity. Describe how your social institution contributes to that inequality. One paragraph each, list your sources, make sure we can access them. Describe each of the following theories generally and how they would specifically address your inequality: functionalism, conflict theory, symbolic interactionism. This may seem like a balanced assignment because it offers three sociological theories to analyze the inequality chosen to study. Functionalism, where most conservatives fall, sees inequality as necessary and unavoidable in free society where individuals are expected to pull their own weight or fall behind. It is a merit-based philosophy of social order. The best example I can think of to illustrate functionalism is Rush Limbaugh's retelling of the True Thanksgiving story, where pilgrims initially set up a communal system in the New World where resources were shared equally, reflecting a socialist approach. However, this led to inefficiency, inequality, lack of motivation. Governor William Bradford eventually shifted to a private property system, assigning plots of land to each family, which spurred productivity and prosperity. The people who failed to work failed to eat. This change from the collective to the individual ownership showcased the failure of a Marxist mindset and the success of capitalism and self-reliance, leading to an economic boom that attracted more settlers to the New World and saved a failing colony. While this story is used to discuss economics, it also relates very closely to sociology and conflict theory. And if you don't believe, here's the story.
Now, the story of the Pilgrims begins in the early part of the 17th century. The Church of England under King James I was persecuting anyone and everybody who did not recognize the church's absolute civil and spiritual authority, actually the state. Now, those who challenged the ecclesiastical authority and those who believed strongly in freedom of worship were hunted down. It's in England in the 1600s. They were hunted down, they were imprisoned, sometimes executed for what they believed. So a group of separatists, people that didn't want any part of this, fled first to Holland. They liked wooden shoes and cheese. They established a community. They were there for 11 years. After 11 years, about 40 of these separatists who liked wooden shoes and cheese agreed to make a perilous journey to the New World. They had heard about it.
Sorry. Yes, we are clicking on your article. Good morning, Megan Fox. Yes, Miss Richland. Oh, yeah, we've been reading your article, reading it for these wonderful people. I miss him. Yeah, same. You have a link. You know how to get here.
Some new exciting place hadn't been developed. They knew that they were going to face hardship. Hardship like you and I don't know. And I'm not preaching to you. I'm just telling you, we don't know the hardship these people endured. We can't. We are way too advanced now.
Oh, yeah. We'll bring you back, MG here.
Oh, join back in. Oh, the man.
Oh, yeah.
I believe life today. Try to explain flight, jet travel. They wouldn't.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, sweetheart. You get.
Yeah, she didn't sleep last. She got like 2 hours of sleep.
Why? Why didn't you get any sleep?
Lots of shit going on last night.
Oh, was there? Are people coming after you,
all console twins, dingus brain, threatening copyright lawsuits against people and for obvious fair use.
Didn't he just say that he wasn't going to do that?
Yeah, well, he's a dumbass dipshit. The claims so for someone who supposedly has done a lot of copyright law litigation, he has no clue what the fuck fair use is.
David Gringus has gone off the deep end. Yeah.
Yep. I think he needs to have some evaluations done. Something's wrong with him.
If he's waving a gun on YouTube, that right there will get you.
It should get him kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, permanently.
I think you need to report his video.
That kind of stuff.
I didn't see it, but people who, if he's indeed doing it, then the video should be reported.
Yeah, that right there should immediately have his channel removed. Immediately. I mean, we're not allowed to do that here.
Nope.
That is against the terms of service of YouTube. Megan says, look at her tweet. I tweeted the clip. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm on my phone, so
we will pull that up.
Understand it.
Matter of fact, look, why don't we do that right now?
Was it a live stream or was it a recorded video? I think, doesn't that make a difference?
Yeah, it can. It can make a big difference.
Now, I mean, waving it around and being unhinged probably doesn't help.
No.
If you're making threats or, you know.
Let's see where it is. I'm looking to see if I
He's mad because a judge filed a bar complaint against him.
Is it this minute and 45 one? Let me see. I want to see if this is the one. I don't see the particular one. Is this it? I mean, there's Aurora. Okay, we'll pull this up here. Okay. It says okay. Here, I'll pull this up. This is a transcript of
get it up,
of this. Yeah, give me a second. Ma's actions made Laura and I feel that day. We felt, I don't want to say humiliated isn't the right word. We felt that Ma was putting on a show. I think his name Modest was putting on a show, the circus that she was lying to be a ringmaster, putting on a circus for entertainment purposes.
The circus is his client in her story.
And she put my physical safety in RI, and I'm afraid that I had a gun and brought with me to court, not into the building. You're not allowed to do that. That I in Arizona open carry state, you can give a gun anywhere you want unless in the car and private security with me, in which I never done. I had court security because they were afraid that some lunatic, some JFC cult member was going to run up to us and blow our heads off. What? No.
Well, he's so full of shit.
It's entertainment.
There was so much security there.
Makes God forbid something had happened that day, and these people were not unhinged. They were calling her a freaking.
No, his
liar.
client's the one that's unhinged. He's unhinged. God, he's got a complex. There's something wrong.
That's some serious mental issues right there. That is some serious mental issues right there.
Nobody's going to try to pull any shit at the damn courthouse. And then he was afterwards was just hanging around, laughing and yucking it up with his client out in the open.
Yes.
He wasn't afraid of anything.
Yeah, he's a liar. Read my comments. I've asked the bar to refer this man with known substance abuse problems for testing. His erratic behavior coupled with the threats against his clients and critics or victims should concern you. Here,
and his comments about the judge are very concerning. So
let me pull up this whole thing here. Pull up this whole thing so we can pull this.
And it shouldn't just be the Arizona bar. Megan, he needs to be referred to the California bar as well. I'm sure they would love to see that he's waving a gun around.
Yeah, so he claimed that Judge Matta forced him to carry a gun to a trial to defend himself from JFC cult members, laughing and talking, and they lingered outside for quite a while, laughing and talking. I have the photos. At the end of Gringus's video, he said he was so angry at Judge Matta that he needed a Valium. I have known people who were arrested for threatening a judge because they wrote a strongly worded email. Gringus brandished a gun and accused Mata of retaliating against him by filing a bar complaint. Then he removed the video almost as soon as it was finished playing. We have a copy of it and we'll provide it to whoever needs to see it. Please protect Judge Julie Mata, who did nothing to incite this kind of behavior other than her job and filing a complaint against a lawyer you have been warned about multiple times. I have asked the bar to refer to this man with known substance abuse problems for testing his erratic behavior coupled with the threats against his clients, critics, and her victims should concern you. The anger towards Judge Mata is 100% misplaced, as she's protected everyone in multiple ways, including providing extra security at Gringus's request.
Yep.
And I would pull up the video, but this is ridiculous. Oh yeah, she has photos. See, Elka.
Yeah,
he's as angry
but
as
she had a photographer there at the hearing.
Yeah,
taking pictures.
Lunacy. Exactly. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, let him go to file some copyright cases. When he loses, he's going to owe them their attorney's fees, because what Laura Knighty did was 100% clear-cut fair use. Sue her over it. When you make a false claim like that, you're liable for attorney's fees and costs. You should know that, dumbass. Old dingus. He should know. If he's litigated it, he knows better.
Yeah. No one spoke to his client or him, not even once.
No.
Outside of court, yeah, nobody spoke with him. He's verifiably that's just wrong.
Yeah.
That is just absolutely wrong. Yeah, I'd be a little bit upset too, Megan. That would cause me to lose some sleep. That would definitely cause me to lose some sleep. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that bullshit from somebody that's an attorney. That you would think that they would know better than this shit.
Well, he should, especially if he's supposedly done all these copyright law cases. Apparently, he's never handled a fair use case, because it shows.
Yeah.
Nobody stole his video. He can't. It's like, so somebody's like claim they're going to steal his video, monetize it, and prevent him from monetizing it. Well, he's not eligible for monetization on YouTube, so he can't monetize it.
No.
The one who's going to monetize it's YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, unless he already has a YouTube channel that is.
He's not. Yeah. No.
Nope.
This was like his second video. I mean, he's got nothing.
Yeah. I mean, good for him that he's out there, doing these kinds of things, doing the YouTube stuff. But
he could have been doing this for months.
Well,
if he really wanted to get her story out there.
He will learn very quickly how easy YouTube is. He will learn. He will learn, like other lawyers have learned in this space, that just because you have YouTube or some sort of voice, that YouTube will remove your shit in a fucking heartbeat. They don't care. They don't care. They don't put up with the fuckery at all. They never have. YouTube, everyone thinks, I could start a channel and do great. No. I'm taught that lesson on a daily basis. And you'd be surprised the kind of stuff.
Even when you're consistent and do things right, YouTube will take shit away. It's up to YouTube whether anybody sees your stuff and whether or not they take away your subs.
Big update on InfoWars. DM'd my ex. Yep. I'll check that out in a bit. Yeah.
Megan just thought she was. She just thought she was missing, dumbass, old fungus.
Mm-hmm.
She just thought she was missing him.
Yeah.
She was like, I miss him compared to other internet lawyers.
Yeah.
I miss him. Yeah.
Well, and of course, you notice that Bubbles has been very quiet lately.
Well, they're threatening more shit too. So.
Oh yeah. Bubbles and the fleas.
So.
Just like, oh, well, yeah, you guys are getting your asses handed to you on a regular basis. The problem with these people that think that using YouTube as an attack mechanism works. I mean, it does for a short period of time. It gets you clicks and views, but it's not going to be. It's not. It does in the long run. It does not work out well for you.
No, it doesn't.
Because whenever your righteous indignation, is done, who's listening to you?
You got nothing left.
You got nothing left. Whenever you've been shown that you're a failure, and I guess one of the best examples is look at Amber Heard. All the righteous indignation of how violent and horrible Johnny Depp was, and Johnny Depp says, "Yeah, I'm not perfect. I had an addiction problem, and and I've said things that were mean and cruel, and and by no means this perfect person that people think I am." He owned up to it. Knew that he was.
And but he wasn't abusive. That's the thing.
Verbally, he could be
considered borderline, but I mean, a lot of it's he's responding to her.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's hard not to retaliate when you're dealing with a psychopath like Amber Heard day in and day out.
But then you have this court case that happens in England where he's not allowed to say anything. He can only give a portion of what he wants to say, and most of that gets thrown out, and they can't even use it. And that's a whole different stream. But what I mean to say is that everybody was in there supporting Amber Heard, saying, "Oh, she's the abuser."
The media was, because you're supposed to just believe women. It was a whole Me Too bullshit.
And that
instead of believing the evidence,
that narrative was destroyed so damn quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Once people,
they still haven't let it go. The media still can't let it go.
No,
they will still attack. They'll still throw shade at Johnny and attack him. Try to blow smoke up Amber's ass about it. They still can't let it go.
No, they have not been able to let it go. And it just goes to show how bad the group is. And let's get back to Megan's article here, because this is a pretty damn good one here. Conflict theory is Marxist theory. Groups of oppressed people identified by their sex, race, or any other victimhood category they think have every excuse in the book not to succeed, while the oppressors, always white people, reap all the rewards. If you've been to college, you're very aware of this theory, which has been accepted as fact in America. It's mind-boggling that those of us who watched actual Marxism fail spectacularly behind the Iron Curtain. Symbolic interactionism, from my reading of it, seems like another form of Marxism or conflict theory that focuses on race, gender, or other victim groups. So right off the bat, in this assignment, you have two almost identical theories competing against the other, which is opposite both. The assignment premise is to take something unequal and observe it through the lens offered. Part 2 of the assignment is more concerning. Part 2 requires you to write essays for each of the items below. Identify the groups that have been impacted by the inequality you chose to explore. Be thoughtful and consider the possibilities of how the inequality may affect multiple identities. Address intersectionality. Describe how the inequality impacts the group's social experience because of both past, present social structures. Cite your sources. Describe how inequality impacts the group's economic experience because of both past and present social structures. Cite your sources. Describe how inequality impacts the group's ability to thrive because of both past and present social structures. Cite your sources. As you read through this, you'll see how the kids in this class would be led to cover a left-leaning topic using words like intersectionality. which is an exclusively political left concept requiring you to view the world through the lens of exclusively left-wing thinkers. Intersectionality is the analytical framework used to study how societies treat people based on various social and political identities, such as their gender, ethnicity, and sexuality. Depending on those identities, a person may be privileged or oppressed. This is just another word for Marxism. So now the professor has elevated Marxism, or this conflict theory, above the others by forcing students to use the lens of intersectionality to write their papers. Conservative thinkers reject this premise. We reject the idea that people must be segregated into groups based on these identifiers. The right, contrarily, looks at humanity as a group of individuals with equal inherent rights, and the way we treat people is based on their character and behavior. Forcing students to use only one lens that sees everyone as a victim group except white, straight people is
Shit, we got somebody backstage.
Oh, we do. We have the legend, the myth, the legend, the one, the only. There he is.
Little pig, let me in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the crushing. I mean, she is absolutely destroying them on this. I mean, if you guys want to follow the rest of this story, please pull. And Fallstorm, you've got a daughter that's close to college age, if not college, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And does she have to deal with this kind of shit too?
Luckily, she hasn't, but I mean, she's of course aware of it. See, what Megan's daughter should have done was approach it from the standpoint of having these athletes in women's sports actually hurts them.
Yes,
because the level of competition it's going to be subpar due to a biological advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have talked about how it actually hurts these athletes to be competing in women's sports because it's not equal. That'll really mess with the professor.
Yes. Somebody says, "Oh, the fleas are never quiet." That's very true. They except for the awkward silences, I think, because they have a hard time like carrying on a conversation.
Yeah, it's funny what happens when the content runs out.
Begging people to host you. Yeah, well, it's
I got to run into the courthouse. So
all right, bro. We'll see you soon.
See y'all later.
All right, see you, man.
Right. Good man there. Oh, what is it? What was that? Who's that coming down the tracks? It's a mean machine in red and black.
Yeah, but if they don't have their starting running back,
ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Thank you.
First one that barks at me gets popped in the mouth.
Oh God, that shit's so stupid, ridiculous. Gonna say Shizzy's mic before it gets bad. Is it my mic acting up?
A little bit. And now comes the part where Shizzy has to take a time out to be able to fix his equipment.
Yes, I'm readjusting my equipment.
There you go. Make sure you have to properly adjust your equipment.
Yes, properly adjust it. The intro is so badass it wakes up your dogs and causes chaos every time. I love it. I love it. I love it. No, this idea, instead of the professor suggesting she use a study on cisgendered attitudes towards transgender athletes, you can imagine what that one said. But it was peer reviewed and published. She was told she could not write about women getting the shaft in sport. Well,
but that's exactly what's happening.
Yes. Exactly. Physically, literally, that is exactly what's happened because of male invaders. But she could write about women's poor attitudes towards men in their sports and spaces. Oh my God. Those of us on the right know why professors rely so heavily on peer-reviewed and published studies. The real studies on important topics can't get peer-reviewed or published if they don't toe the leftist line. If you need an example, check out the New York Times article that just dropped showing that researcher purposefully hid a study on hormone blockers in children because the outcome wasn't good for the political narrative. A fair and unbiased professor would have helped my daughter find an acceptable study that involved the same topic that she wanted to use instead of steering her to the opposite and contrary view. Luckily, when I posted the viral tweet, many people provided excellent studies that did meet the professor's requirements, and one was accepted. The assignment itself enforces a worldview on students that they are living in a fundamentally flawed and bad country filled with inherently evil and racist, sexist, and otherwise countrymen. Yes, we're sick of that crap.
Yes.
Or country people for the feminists out there. The assignment has deeply embedded leftist tropes that are not part of the conservative worldview. Thus, this by design cuts off an entirely way of thinking that does not include these racial and sex-based baited optics concepts. It erases the conservative-minded student from existence. It excludes half, well, more than half now of the country's point of view. It is wrong. It needs to stop. Our educators should teach from a classical model that is open to all theories and points of view and does not set Marxist dialect boundaries as the basis of their assignments. As to the criticism from the right that I owe the internet the name of the professor and the school of my daughter attends so they can feel some sense of relief by mean tweeting her in the school.
No, that's what the left does. Stop
Exactly.
using the tactics the left does. It's dumb.
But, what happened? Putting Shizzy in timeout is what us chat are good for, you assholes. Love you guys.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Oh my God. But the safety of my child will always come first. I've kept my children out of the spotlight and will continue to do so until they choose whether they want it. My 18-year-old is not shy about what she believes, but I have a large platform that can do a lot of damage if I don't use it wisely. What would happen to my child if I expose her professor and her school? We live in New York. Do you think it would be more or less difficult for her to make friends in a new school after becoming the catalyst for a cancel mob that got a professor fired or more likely promoted? After the social media campaign launched by conservatives, do you think it would help heal or divide between the MAGA kids and far left professors? Or do you think that other avenues would be more helpful to both goals? She is so right on this. I reject cancel mobs. There was a time when I felt the way some of you do and wanted to inflict as much pain on the left as they have inflicted on some of us, but I've changed my mind. It's far better to try to change the hearts and minds through rational, thoughtful dialogue. And if that doesn't work, there's the dean of the school. So far, all my daughter needed what her professor would accept. She will write her topic as planned. If she receives an unfair grade, we will take it to the next level, but that level isn't on X. America is not divided as it seems the election should have shown us that we are winning. We are bringing a huge group of people to our side, but we are not doing it by behaving like the left. We're not doing it by pointing out the failures of the left and offering new ways forward. The professor is just a person who has been scared and terrified by the media about MAGA monsters. I refuse to justify that belief by turning her life into a nightmare with the push of a button. Oh, I could do it, but that would be wrong. And if you can't see that, then do some soul searching. Learn to seek peace when peace is impossible or possible. If you want to win hearts and minds, you can't do that with the nuclear option. That doesn't mean I would never expose this professor, but she certainly doesn't deserve that now when negotiations are possible. If you want true unity, you must fight to make America friends again. And then that starts with making effort to be a friend and offer kindness instead of a slap in the face. Sometimes that kindness is rejected and all offers of peace will fail, but wait for that moment before declaring war. American education must change, but so must our attitudes towards the people who are simply victims of the system we must tear down. And of course, Megan is an award-winning journalist, broadcaster, and author of Believe Evidence, The Death of Due Process,
YouTuber, blah, blah, blah.
And they're, this is she's right in this. I mean, as much as we love to watch the leftists, cry their little eyes out and mock them endlessly.
Well, here, yeah, I get the point of her article, and I agree with her, because if you're the winner, you don't have to use the other side's tactics to defeat them. There are other ways of doing it which are just as effective.
Yeah,
and trying to hunt down the professor that decide to make this call is not how you go about it.
Absolutely not.
Cancel culture is what the left does.
Exactly. In a heartbeat, they would be going after this professor, no different than they went after Weinstein, where to the point where you had people walking around the campus with baseball bats looking for him.
Yep.
And that right there is not acceptable. I don't accept that whenever it was done to him. I don't accept it if somebody was trying to do that to this professor. And I think Megan taking the high road is probably the best idea. Her daughter taking the high road and finding something, a good workaround is always a much better solution. YouTube is wonky. Please take a second here. All messages, live chat, miss out in chat, smashed. Okay, thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. Yeah, the craziness. The craziness is always what you want to get more people on your side. Don't go on the attack constantly. I think this is what the toothless ones have not figured out.
People get tired of it. Mm-hmm. It's sure, it's entertaining at first, but after a while, it just becomes background noise.
It does.
It's the same thing again and again and again, and people are tired of it.
Yes, peace is always better unless there's no other choice. I mean that there does come a point where there is no other choice. I mean, and this right there is why Jeremy got embroiled in a goddamn lawsuit in the first place. It was him putting a restraining order against her in Ohio that set her the fuck off, because he tried in Florida and he couldn't get it to happen. So he took it to his home state where he lives to get that restraining order against her to get a stalker off of his back.
Yeah.
And then that's, I talked about this with Tug. He was like, so how did you get involved in all of this? And with all the drama bullshit of this garbage,
right?
Because that's all it is garbage. It's like, was with MG, he was telling me, that he was watching what Megan Fox was covering on this, that there was this insane judge that was just unfreaking hinged. And we watched that night, and it was, oh my God. This is the most insane crap that I've ever seen. How is this judge even allowed to sit on the bench? And it spiraled from there. And next thing you know, you've got people that are going on the attack of Preston. You've got people that are going on the attack of Hales. You've got people taking sides. You've got just like spiteful, hateful people on both sides. You got the toothless ones that are it seems like in all respect that they're just cranky because one of them might have been a mod for Hales, and all of a sudden they've got this righteous indignation. I don't know, because he didn't appreciate all of her hard work as a mod. I mean, I don't know what the hell their problem is.
Well, let's kind of compare this with the election. You know what the best part about the election is? There's an end.
Yeah.
There's an end. You finally declare one person the winner. Mm-hmm. When you get in situations like this, and I'm talking about both sides, it's perpetuating. It's constant. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And you're waiting for, okay, well, who's going to come out on top? Neither one of them.
No.
They both lose.
Yes. It's time. You know who makes the money is the attorneys in this.
Oh, yeah.
The attorneys are the ones that are making out like a bandit on this because of this dumb shit that's going on. So you've got these guys, you know, on one, and then that's the other thing. Then the story becomes not about what it was in the first place. An unhinged freaking person going after another person, or another unhinged person going back at that person. You lose that narrative of these two people are fucking losing their shit over one another.
Yep.
Okay. Now the story becomes about the toothless ones. It becomes about Tug. It becomes about Megan. It becomes about Shizzy. It becomes about Bubbles. It becomes about all the fucking people that don't fucking matter in this, because we don't. It becomes about all the bullshit that you're trying to avoid in the first place. And I mean, you know, you're just like, stop. Just stop.
Well,
stop being children.
In the end, the situation has become the grift. That's what's happened. You got a situation between two individuals that has now turned into a grift for all these people who have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
It is. And this is why I limit what I cover on it, unless something new is really coming out about the story. I understand, you know, and you know, there's people that don't even want to cover it because it has nothing to do with them. All of a sudden they're thrown into the spotlight over this shit. You know, Megan was kind enough to you know, read my email to response to
but
Bubbles
that's funny
with Tug, because it was funny, because here's some idiot is reaching out to this guy with just a few thousand subs thinking that my voice really freaking means something. I mean, go talk to one of these channels that runs, you know, 300,000-400,000 subs up into the millions of subs. These people have reach. My reach is small. It's minor. And if you're trying to give me this promise of oh, I'll make your channel great because you cover this kind of shit, how fast are those people eating themselves up now? The people that jumped on the what the hate Hales bandwagon, how fast are those people just attacking each other, chewing each other up, ripping apart each other from the inside out, like a bunch of vicious animals, thinking that their bullshit really matters. Bubbles go scratch the fleas out. Oh, yeah, that's Brucey. Fringe stage 5 clingers, yes.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it to me, it makes me go, I mean, there's people that would cover this kind of information. The only problem is you've made it so toxic that they're trying to scare people away from it. That's the intention. The reason that they're doing all of the lawsuits against Larry and DJ Radis and Jeremy and all this other bullshit is because they feel that they've been duped somehow, that they've been screwed over. There's some sort of defamation. And it's like, you want to see defamation, all you have to do is look at a certain YouTuber that compared another YouTuber to a pedo and a murderer. You want to talk about true defamation. You want to see a lawsuit come out. Keep up with your shit. And they think that that's okay and it's acceptable. It's not. All it does is now you've outed yourself for the kind of human being that you are.
I want to go back to making fun of politicians.
Exactly. So yeah, Bubbles, go bite a dong. You'll probably find a leather one, I'm sure. This Matt Gates, a sacrificial lamb or our big bag of blood. Pete's Hedges is Secretary of Defense. Sure, why not? He's a bright, capable guy with combat experience, comprehensive worldview, and plenty of multimedia savvy. Hegseth is ideally equipped to not just implement Trump's military agenda, he can also sell this agenda to the American people. And in politics, that matters. Great pick. Marco Rubio is Secretary of State. Oh, did you see what he said the other day? Oh,
What?
Oh,
What? I missed it.
Oh my God. It was freaking glorious. Let's see if I can find it because it went. Oh, I do have a palate cleanser for you.
Okay, cool.
I got a good palate cleanser for you. This.
Who was it?
That was Ginger Gates, the wife of Matt Gates.
Wow. She's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah. Yeah. But you won't hear the left talking about how wonderful she did on that.
No.
No.
Why was she doing that in a public building? Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Singing her fascist song in the halls of government. How disgraceful.
Checking your email in your nephew's restaurant. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
I got tons of emails. White privilege.
White privilege.
I got your white privilege right there. You damn white privilege peoples. Sons of bitches. Give me just a second. I want to pull something up here. Yes. Oh, wait. This one's much better.
Okay.
This is much better. All right. FUs all around from Trump world to the deep state. Oh, I just love the headline. President-elect Donald Trump's key personal picks, which accelerated the day he met with Joe Biden at the White House, are bold. Some are unexpected. All are embodiment of sentiment announcing the DC swamp that no Fs were given in the pursuit of tough people who can hang on to the America First ideal for 4 years to turn the country away from socialism and stagnation. These picks were FUs all around. So far, the former and future president has surrounded himself with steely-eyed killers. He'll need to clean out the rat's nest of mahogany-paneled seventh floors at Langley and the Department of Justice. I can't wait to find out who will lead the FBI. J.D. Vance can't move into the nasal. I thought it said nasal observatory. I was like,
right now it's probably nasally because that's where Camel Toe lives.
Yes. The Naval Observatory, fast enough. Wednesday's pick of Tulsi Gabbard to lead the Office of National Intelligence, that hot mess of bureaucracy conceived after the CIA and FBI, except John O'Neill, failed to intercept the bin Laden 9/11 plot, might be a masterstroke. Remember the thinking that the creation of this behemoth went, sure, the CIA messed up and didn't talk to the FBI, so I know let's add an entirely new layer of government spook class to vet information that also won't be passed on. Genius. I burst out laughing when I heard this pick. Text to interested parties included plenty of red lights, fire, and laughing emojis. As Director of National DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Gabbard can find out how truly, not wittingly, the spy agency was spying on Americans. Who better to determine why Americans are being spied on than the person who's currently being spied on? Exactly.
If they lifted that travel ban yet.
No, it's still there. It's still in place. God. It is still in place. If it were just white privilege, we'd all sound amazing.
Right.
Please, no lectures. I know quiet skies is under the Department of Homeland Security, aka Kristi Noem's soon-to-be province. But being spied on is being spied on and affords Gabbard the unique experience of knowing what it's like to be an American citizen and treated like an enemy of the state. As part of its portfolio, the Office of National Intelligence oversees coordination of relationships with the intelligence or security services of foreign governments and international organizations. I can't wait for Gabbard to tell us why the DNI and spy apparatus is being run out of the Obama White House used its Five Eyes allies to spy on the Trump 45 White House. How many laws were broken in pursuit of the ruination of a political opponent? Go get him, Tulsi. Let the healing begin. To that point, what better way to go after the seventh floor swells at the Justice Department than a man whose name and reputation were dragged through the muddy bottom of D.C. swamp to harass a political opponent with a very questionable legal case? The gangsters of the DOJ held the ghost case over Matt Gaetz' head to blackmail him into silence. He stayed quiet for a while, but the firebrand Florida congressman outed the DOJ's conspiracy to smear him with fake child trafficking scandal. After getting outed for their information operation, the DOJ quietly dropped those charges. Oopsie. It was a low blow, even for Merrick Garland's DOJ. The main issue
this tweet
with Matt Gaetz is that he used his office to prosecute his political opponents and authorized federal agents to harass parents who were peacefully protesting at school boards. Oh, wait, that's actually Merrick Garland, the current attorney general.
Have you ever seen one attorney be so butthurt in your life?
Oh, he's salty because he didn't get confirmed as Supreme Court justice.
He got passed over to be a Supreme Court justice. And what has he done ever since then? Weaponized the DOJ.
Yep.
Since then, because he is so salty.
Or do you think
Some of
he's
you attorneys
salty in
are
the first place,
pathetic.
and that's why he got passed over for that position? I want to say that it's because he got passed over for that, not because he got passed over for that decision, but that was why he got passed over for that decision. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me that people think, oh, he's just sort of like this sweet, innocent kind of. Yeah, it's not. No. And here, and they're trying again. They are trying again. Here, let me show you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Kassabai.
I love this guy.
I'm looking at an order you issued as a magistrate judge here, requiring the use of pronouns in your court. Do you require the use of pronouns, the declaration of one's pronouns in your court?
Senator, that may be referring to perhaps a trial management order or a scheduling order of some kind.
Yeah. No, it's a statement. You issued it. Here it is.
It's an invitation for people to identify their pronouns and or their honorific.
Is it an invitation or an
Looking
order?
At your requirement that you issued to all people in your court, you say, quote, when you introduce yourself in a meeting, you should say, my name is Judge Blank and my pronouns are blank. Is that right?
Senator, those were not requirements or rules. Those were suggestions and
They were suggestions.
Those were suggestions and invitations for people to use.
And you
Not an
also,
order.
In your directive, you say, quote, I'd like counsel to introduce themselves, giving your full name and your honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr., not Mrs. And if your client will be making an appearance, I ask you to please introduce them to the court by giving me their full name and their honorific, such as Ms., MS period, Mix, or Mr.
Yeah, that's the next one that they're trying to push through. Merrick Garland was just one of them. I will bring popcorn when Gaetz faces the senators on the Judiciary Committee and tells them every detail of why he's the perfect guy to clean house at the DOJ. Bring it on. Who's this whippersnapper being considered for Secretary of Defense? Pete Hegseth was the last person brought for this post. of for this post, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. Even an old hand like Tony Tata, retired Brigadier Army General, former number 3 of the Pentagon for Trump 45, likes the pick. I had Tata on, I love Tatas, for an upcoming episode of the Adult in the Room podcast after we learned about the CNN report about Pentagon officials discussing how to respond if Trump issues controversial orders. Head Seth should get a hold of an invitation list for that meeting and rhetorically open fire. Current Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Democrat, Raytheon, issued a see you later. See you all letter, as Tata put it, to urge Pentagon suits to give Trump a smooth transition. That's how scared these guys are. Russia hawk Marco Rubio is up for Secretary of State. That will make some Senate confirmers happy. He should get through this confirmation process smoothly. The state,
yeah, I got a little bit of a problem with Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose job, as they see it, is to blame America first, use millions of American tax dollars to foment anti-American color revolutions, export tranny story hours to religiously conservative countries, keep George Soros and his minions on speed dial, then pump out abortion propaganda. But they do worse. But that will suffice for now. Rubio, bringing his free voice of freedom, to, as Trump put it out, will look like a profile in courage compared to Tony Blinken. He and Jake Sullivan and their hug and Atala payoffs will forever remain a blight on what used to be a good name of the United States of America.
I'm going to change my name to the Ayatollah so I can get some of that cash.
Oh, I'm telling you. Whew, Jesus. The biggest FU from Trump 47 White House may be the addition of Stephen Miller to his inner circle of assistants, deputy chiefs of staff, and communications shop. Interestingly, Miller will be advertising the president on Homeland Security issues, so he'll be in Kristi Noem's ear frequently. Mike Waltz as the National Security Advisor is excellent. If you doubt it, listen to Jack Carr's interview with him from a recent podcast.
Oh,
the
nice.
addition of two Washington outsiders, independently wealthy founders, innovators, and inventors, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, to reduce the size of government would be huge if they can pull it off. Doing big things is in their DNA. Let's hope, however, that they don't tire of the slog this job will be. The Trump effect in this manifested around the world so far, and it's working domestically. The treacherous Pentagon meeting telegraphed at that point. Plus, we've seen reports that the FBI brass meeting around the bottle of Pappy to figure out what their exits will look like. Tim Walz, remember him, and his running mate Camel Toe have seized on the Trump picks to fundraise to bring down her $20 million debt from her $1 billion+ campaign. John Fetterman calls Trump's picks a troll move. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Senator. This is going to be a fun next 4 years. I'm glad you're here for it. As a VIP member, consider upgrading to a VIP Platinum member status. You'll be given front row seats to our VIP Platinum movies, documentaries, TV shows, and all of the good stuff that they have, such as Red State Town Hall, Bearing Arms, and Twitchy, a lifetime discount for your Town Hall media source. So there you go. They gave them their little pump right there. So PJ Media doesn't go after me and tell me, stop reading our stories. Stop. We need to get you to promote it just a little bit. And I'm not paid by PJ Media, just so you know. I don't receive anything except the ability to read some of these really interesting stories. Because the stuff that is coming out of the AP is
garbage.
It's garbage. Like here's a perfect example. Oklahoma school district adding anti-harassment policies after a non-binary teen's death. And the thing is now they got federal investigation agreeing to develop these policies. And I'm sitting here, as you read down through this, took place the day after a fight with several girls in a school bathroom. Why was a man in a girl's bathroom? Why was this boy in a girl's bathroom? And they're calling this bullying. They call this bullying. The school officials received information that Next and 2 other students experienced conduct that could meet the definition of sexual harassment. The district failed to notify the parents, inform of how to file a formal complaint, offer supportive services the district should have done according to federal Title IX policies. No, that's bullshit. The voluntary resolution agreement refers to district dedication to fostering a non-discriminatory and harassment-free environment for all students. Do you not think it's Do you not think it's harassment to have boys show up in a girls' bathroom?
Yeah.
Do you not see the problem? Do you think that AP is following this story correctly, or do you think that AP is trying to feed your mind with bullshit? Because that's what it reads to me like. They're wanting to say, oh, this child was bullied and self-deleted. Or do you think maybe that the child self-deleted because they're very confused because our officials, our elected officials in the school boards are saying, no, it's okay. We have to confirm instead of seeking medical help in the first place.
Yeah. Instead of helping these kids out, you're trying to perpetuate something that isn't real. That's all you're doing. You're making the problem worse instead of the kids getting the help that they need. You don't care about the kids. You don't care.
They never have. It's not about the kids. It's about pushing their social agendas because it gets them the points where they want to have points. There's a reason why Tiffany Hayniard went from being a staunch Democrat, showing up to get her picture taken with Joe Biden camel toe whenever they were elected, to flying people all over the country for her little socialist movements and her little socialist group get-togethers, and now she's sucking up to Donald Trump, sending tweets to him. Look, I'm about to be fired. I was so for you. I supported you. She didn't support shit. She supported her new nails getting done.
God, I hope they broadcast the election for that one.
Oh God, that is going to be glorious. I'm so looking forward to it. And I've had a few people from Dalton reach out and
really
say, yeah, no, I've had some really nice people that have been longtime residents of Dalton reach out and say, thank you for covering this. Because not enough people understand, like I had one the other day that said, hey, we got a 60%, it's 90% Black community here. And, we want to see her thrown in jail over this crap, over all of the bullshit that they've pulled on the people of Dalton. The amount of, and they're just, it's like they don't deserve to be treated this way.
No, because if there is ever a case of blatant corruption, it's her. And the funny part is watching her explain things away, watching her try to use her authority to block out her own constituents, other trustee members, so on and so forth. It's like you couldn't write a movie script any better than what she's doing right now.
Oh, sorry. I was reading something really quick. That's interesting. That looks so good. Somebody sent me a picture of something here. I'll share it.
Okay.
Look at that.
Ooh.
That is El Super Pan's festive holiday catering taps into what the season's all about in Puerto Rican homes. Food as a connector, storyteller. Each dish speaks to the heritage that fuels every Puerto Rican gathering with Pernell. I'm not sure. I can't. My eyes are going blurry. Mofango and other staples are more than just dishes. They're history on a plate. Sharing this feast means setting the table with tradition, bringing together everyone to celebrate. Remember to taste the soul of Puerto Rican holiday. Click the link. See more in Atlanta, Georgia. Right there. That's pretty damn awesome. Super Pans. Oh God, that looks so good. And that's not a turducken, folks. That's not a turducken at all.
That's why I deep fry my turkeys, baby.
Oh man, no, we're getting smoked turkey from this year. We got about 4 pounds of smoked turkey breast. Oh, it's gonna be so delicious. And then I'm going to smoke some thighs and legs because my wife, she doesn't like the white meat. She likes dark meat. That's why she married me.
I'm not surprised.
Spaghetti topped with green beans. Oh, yeah. See, we're coming up close. We're coming up close to the Thanksgiving.
Not far.
And that's her nephew-in-law. Thank you, Song of Rain. That's your nephew-in-law.
Cool.
That's awesome. That is very cool. Yeah, that looks absolutely freaking delicious. Yeah, we've got all kinds of, like, the season is coming. The season is coming for the Thanksgiving.
Less than 2 weeks from today, Black Friday.
Oh, is that right? Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
2 weeks.
That means mother-in-law is going to be here. Ah, damn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You
have enough alcohol, you'll be fine.
I don't know if I have enough alcohol for that. I actually have cut back on my drinking, surprising enough. I'm pretty proud of myself. White meat is gross. Very racist against the white meat. White bird meat. Yeah. Oh, song racist. Oh, I figured you'd like it. No. See, I prefer the white meat, especially if it's cooked properly. Not that dried out shit. Like a lot of people dry their turkeys out where it's not got the good juiciness to it.
Oh,
my wife likes the dark meat.
Well, see, that's why I deep fry the turkey, because it's good and it locks in the moisture and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you cut it, I mean, it's delicious.
Oh yeah.
I will deep fry a damn turkey, and my mom will still oven bake a turkey. Nobody hardly touches hers. Mine gets completely devoured.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, why are you cooking another turkey, woman? Why? Why are you doing this?
Do you mean Black Friday week? Yes. It will be Black Friday week.
Oh, the Black Friday stuff's already started.
No, see, that's because you haven't learned how to cook it properly. It's always dry because you haven't learned how to cook it. If you've got,
she's right though. For the way most people cook it, it does come out dry, and it's just is not good.
No. And I would that's why a lot of people don't like it. I guarantee you try like a smoked turkey that's been properly treated, you're going to end up going, oh my freaking God, this is the best.
Right.
Get that smoky flavor to it. Same way with deep frying it. Yep. It just locks all of that juice in there, and it cooks it like it's heaven.
So good. So good.
It's even better whenever you use the beef to fry it with. If you don't know what I'm talking about, think about McDonald's, what they used to use to fry their French fries in. Now they add sugar to it to make it brown up like it does.
Gross.
That's how you make your. If you're ever wondering how to get your fries nice and crispy looking, all you got to do is you cut your fries and soak it in sugar water for about a half an hour.
Really?
Before you throw them in a deep fryer.
See, I've started. Anytime I have fries, I cook them in the air fryer, so I know they're crispy.
Exactly. Best part of leftover turkey is fajitas. Yeah, the fajitas are awesome. Fajitas, I love fajitas.
Huh? I don't think I've had turkey fajitas.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. But I'll make sandwiches for days.
Yeah. In the holy words of Jeremy Hills, ketchup fixes everything.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it does. 3-day-old turkey sandwich with ketchup on it. It's delicious.
Yes, it is. Paprika does the same thing. Yeah. Roasting oven. Yeah. Now you can do a roasting oven, or you can do like a clay pot, but you don't have a clay pot that's going to hold a 20, 30 pound turkey. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen.
Well, even the deep fried ones, the biggest you can really get to deep fry is like 13 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Anything bigger than that?
Now there's a place that every year they do deep fry. It's a wing place, but every year they close down and they deep fry turkeys, and that's all that they do all day long. That's all they're doing is deep frying turkeys, like for several days. and then people come by and pick them up and they pay for them in advance. And it's just amazing.
Now,
Amazing.
Speaking of deep frying stuff, you ever want to have the best hamburger you've ever had in your life?
Oh, deep fry one?
There is a place in Memphis. It's called Dyer's. It's on Beale Street. They have this huge cast iron skillet just filled with grease and oil. And they deep fry their burgers. They will cook the burgers. They will even put cheese on it and set it back in there. And you talk about something that just melts when you eat it. It is the best hamburger I've ever had in my life.
I like turkey, but the
tryptophan. Yeah. Hey, you eat, you take a nap, you wake up, you go eat more. That's tradition.
That is tradition. Like I am so looking forward to it. Like I'll probably be the one that eats most of the turkey that we got, the white meat. Just because I could sit down and eat like 2 or 3 pounds of it by myself. Like right. I look like that lion laid in the middle of the road, belly all just full of the deer or antelope or whatever it is he just killed.
Just laying there and like, I want to take some clothes off and get comfortable.
Exactly. Not that I would be wearing any in the first place. Just
there you go.
Why? Pants are prison. Pants are prison. Oh, let's see what I'm going to redirect everybody over here. Let's see what we got. We got Broken Baker, Legal Vices, Veneration, Mean Copium, Post-Election, Salt Mining Friday. Oh my God.
Oh, that'll be good.
Oh, I'm sending you guys over there. Make sure that you go and show your love to Mean Copium. It causes issues other than sleep for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody have a wonderful day. Oh, wait, before I do that, I promised you guys something that I was working on before I do that. So I've got to show it to you. So for those of you that are still here, I was having problems with this last night. I couldn't get the damn thing to happen. So I was working on different songs to sort of get that break in between, and I couldn't find a good one. Could not find a good one. So this is part of what I'm going to be using just for you guys. Let me pull this up, and just so you guys know, I'm working on a new break time song, and it's going to be a little bit like this. A little bit like that.
I like it.
For a break? Oh yeah.
Shizzy, when it's chat we thrive. Where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive.
What do you think?
No quiet moments, no dull.
I like that. It's a nice change.
We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true. With crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream. A digital dream. A shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We talk and Shizzy when it's chat we thrive. Where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true. With crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream. A digital dream. A shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. In Shizzy when it's chat we thrive. Where Shizzy does dance and memes arrive. No quiet moments, no dull night. We laugh and funny sight. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true. With crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream. A digital dream. A shared daydream. From shoutouts to those random screams, to inside jokes and endless memes. We type our hearts, we spam the love. Our chat rooms like a club. Oh, chat rooms like a lit up club. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream. Ooh, yeah, we come together night and day. We laugh, we play in our way.
You know it, Joyce.
Yeah.
In cyberspace, loving hearts in this virtual place. Oh, Shizzy's crowd, you're wild and true, with crazy gifts and jokes that flew. We're living pixels in the stream, a digital dream, a shared daydream.
Got that little flamenco in there.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my God, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Time to go mine